What's going on, everybody? Spence here, and we are back for episode 2 of Link Up. This is the podcast about you, the GGC members, and your stories. And this one, you know I got my boy Hung with me. We are talking to one of our professional tennis player members. That's Mr. Harry Fritz himself. In this episode, we talk about his tennis career, how he got into golfing, and how the man stays completely dialed on the sticks as he's traveling. Please sit back and enjoy it. This is one of those memories you don't get to see a lot, so you might learn a few things here. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome, Taylor. What's going on, brother, man? How are you doing? Thank you for coming on the show today. So happy to have you.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. We're excited to chat with you and get behind the scenes on your story of video games, tennis, golf, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on there, as Hung said. You got golf, you got tennis, which is probably what you're most known for. I know you love the game. We play a lot of games together, but in terms of golf, we can get into the other story moving forward down the road. But in terms of golf, how did you get into golf? How did you get into the club? When did you start golfing? What sorts of things did you get kind of, down the road of how did you even get into this whole thing to begin with?
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of always wanted to get into golf for a while. I just never really had like the time. And then when I met Hung, maybe like probably, I don't know, 2 years ago, little less than that, he said they were just kind of starting to golf like a lot, and so we went out and played. And I think that round, Hung, that one we played at Trump was the first like full 18 I've ever played of like a real course. So that's kind of when it started, and it's kind of something I wanted to like just improve on, like work out. I always like having like kind of extra things on the side outside of tennis that I like can just like grind and like set a goal and just like kind of work towards.
Yeah, I remember when we first played and you're like, yeah, I haven't played hole 18 before. And then you're out there piping the ball like 315, 320, no
I
problem.
remember I remember we were with Kaz, and I remember I started so well the first like 3 or 4 holes. I think I went like bogey, par, par or something, and he was like, dude, you're really good. Like, you don't play. And I'm like, trust me, like I'm not this good. Like I'm getting so lucky.
What did you shoot your first full 18? Because if anybody's ever played there before, that place
Oh, I hate
is
that course. Yeah.
freaking tough. If
No,
you
I was well over. I was over 100. I
Were
didn't
you?
break
Okay.
100.
Yeah, I
No,
mean, regardless, like first time out on a course, like playing there, it gets windy. There's like no fairways there. It's fucking tiny. The place is
I don't.
tough.
I don't like. I tell Hot towards the end there, Hung. I was like, he would say like, "Oh, I got a tee down there." I'm like, "Ah, dude, I don't want to play there. Like, I don't want to like feel bad about myself."
You got to be dialed in to play there for sure. So,
Yeah.
so realistically, you've only been playing a couple years at this point, right? Because that round had to have been
Yeah,
during
I have
COVID.
not. I've been playing a bit less than 2 years probably.
Yeah, which is insane. So I think what made you think about golf? Were you just like, hey, this is just one thing I can do by myself, or is it because other people were playing and you're like, listen, this could be something else? Or did you have the kind of drive where you thought, hey, tennis is kind of like my, a very personal sport. I can do this on my own. Did you see a correlation there where you're like, golf seems like a very natural progression for me, something else to do and try because of that reason?
It was a couple different things. I think I wanted to get into it. I just didn't have like people to really like go out and golf with.
Yeah.
So Hung kind of like introed me to like people, and Hung's like, let's go golf and do stuff like that. So I got to go out, but then also there's all these like there's all these events, like these pro-am tournaments, celebrity tournaments, and um one of my captains like for Team USA is Marty Fish, and he's like just a ridiculous golfer, and he cleans up those events, and he
Yeah.
actually like makes a pretty there's actually pretty good prize money in those. And so I kind of figured if I started now, so I was 23 then. I was like, if I start now and just play, maybe I can actually be like really good by the
Yeah.
time I retire. So the goal is kind of like see how good I can get by the time I actually retire from tennis.
I think you start out the exact same way a lot of us start out, right? It's like you have that one friend or that one person and you play something with them or whatever, and all you want to do and all you put your energy toward is beating that person at what you think they're really good at, or like whatever it is. So like the competitive nature takes over, and all you want to
For
do
sure.
is just like beat the crap out of them, which makes a lot of sense. So you're talking about the men's team.
Mhm.
I know your background is tennis. How long have you been playing tennis? What kind of, how would you get into it as a kid? How long have you been doing it? And like, where are you at right now? How do you feel about it? I know you're playing at a super high level. Do you feel like you kind of reached a really good point here, or you think there's like way more to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think first off, just to answer the last bit, yeah,
Yeah.
there's way more to go, and that's what's exciting is I've done a lot and I've accomplished a lot. I think as of Monday when the rankings update, I'll be back to 8 in the world, but I still think there's so much more to go, and I just know in my game there's so much more to improve on, and that's what's exciting to me is I'm at where I'm at, and I think there's so many more levels I can take it. So I'm excited to see where that can be. But yeah, starting out, I started when I was like literally 2 years old, hitting balls.
It's insane.
It was impossible for me not to like play tennis, to be
Yeah.
honest. My mom was a top 10 player, um, and my dad played professionally, was very good, but coached all the time. So we had a quarter of our house. It's just tennis going around, going like on all around me all the time. So it was just really like natural to get into it. And I played a lot of other sports, and I wouldn't say tennis was like my favorite sport at all, but um, I knew I wanted to be a professional athlete when I was younger.
Yeah.
So when I kind of got to that age, I think I was like 14 or so. I was definitely the best at tennis, so I just dropped all the other sports and I said, all right, like I need to, if I really want to make this happen, I have to like get really serious at it.
Did your parents coach you growing up, or did you have
Yeah.
like coaches at some point? Like,
I had sometimes I had coaches that I would go see, but like primarily it was my dad. But I did have some other coaches I'd see maybe once a week just because like it's exhausting. Like being on the court with your dad every day. It's like you don't have like a proper like son like dad to
yeah, yeah,
son like relationship. It's like a coach player relationship. It was like yeah,
yeah. I totally get it. Like they want to treat you like a normal person, but it's really tough to do so. Also, when they're your parent,
yeah,
you
because
know,
I'll talk back. Like I have absolutely like when I was young, I have like, absolutely zero respect for like stuff my dad was saying, but
yeah,
like I would
yeah,
never say the shit that I said to him to like like another coach that like
yep,
we would just like hire because that's not my dad. So
yeah. Which is crazy, but at the same time, it's like I think the parent also expects that, right? Like the
mm,
relationship should be a little bit different, or like you know most of the time is. But in terms of tennis, like I think, what would you describe as like one of your best, like what's your best thing when it comes to tennis? Like, is it your serve, or are you just insane in terms of like pace on the court, or like are you really good at like your
yeah,
forehands, or what do you think is your
uh,
strength?
I would say what makes me good is I'm very solid off of both sides, the forehand, the backhand. I feel like I don't let people, I can't like relax from anywhere. I feel like I can hurt people off of kind of any shot. And so from the ground, just very like just having weapons and being very solid and not really having like a clear like weakness. And then obviously my serve is one of my best shots for sure. I'd say my serve is my best shot, but
Yeah.
I back it up. I back it up really well. And then just outside of that, for sure, just the way I compete is like one of my greatest, like by far one of my greatest assets. I play so much better when there's pressure and there's something on the line, and that's something that there's no chance I'd be where I'd be without that.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked was I know your serve is your best thing. I know you have a very powerful serve. Do you think there's any sort of correlation there between hard serve in tennis and driving the ball very far? Because first of all, you haven't been playing golf for long. We've played a good amount of golf together. You hit the ball freaking hard, first of all, for how long you've been playing. You just kind of understand like the angles and how to use your body. Is there some sort of correlation you think with just having like power, or do you think it's like a torque thing? Um, because you just naturally have that ability to just hit it hard.
I mean, obviously, I'm a tall, like longer guy, so just and in a sport like golf, like long levers is just like it's good for generating power.
Yeah.
But I've played with some other tennis players that aren't tall, and they bomb the ball farther than I do. And
Yeah.
I think what it comes down to is like when we're hitting a forehand, we're rotating like this.
Yep.
I'm playing. The fact of the matter is like we were playing a rotational sport. I've been playing a rotational sport where you're kind of just you're like back here and you're driving
Yeah.
through this way over and over again for like I don't know 20 years.
Yeah.
So like I feel like when it comes to that kind of weight transfer and that kind of a movement, I'm already like very strong. Like I've been doing that for a very long time. It's definitely a golf movement. Like the way you transfer your weight, I guess, is really similar to
Yeah.
like a swing.
Yeah, I could totally see it. Listen, I haven't played a bunch of tennis, but like I understand the aspect. It's kind of like baseball too, of like the same sort of swinging aspect, where
Exactly.
a lot of torque and a lot of full body movement. So yeah, it makes sense to me why there's an easy transition. Also pisses me off at the same time knowing that you haven't played for a while and you'll easily outdrive me. So that shit
That's not
also is
true.
annoying. Listen, you do get me a good amount of times, but we can both agree here that we get hung every single time. So
Yeah, I mean, Spencer, as long as you can keep it on either this fairway or the one next to it, I've seen you hit the ball 3 fairways over before.
hey, in play is in play. That's all I care about. Um, moving forward, I know there's a lot of hype right now around golf and tennis specifically. So there's a lot of noise around the golf Netflix series coming out.
Yeah.
I know you guys just did one as well. There was
hmm
a lot of media and stuff around you. There was a full episode pretty much that you were a big part of on Breaking Point. If you haven't seen it, if you're watching this, it's on Netflix. What was it like having those guys around all the time? Did you kind of enjoy it? Did you have fun with it? Was it something different? Or was it just like really hard to get used to?
It honestly wasn't that strange because they filmed a lot at events at tournaments. When I'm just going about like my daily routine,
Yeah.
like if they're filming on a match day, the last thing I'm thinking about is like the camera's there.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm very like locked in like on my business, like doing all that. So it didn't even feel that weird um to have them there. I think it would have been a lot like more like awkward if they were like filming me like when I'm like out like doing stuff. Like that's just like that's kind of strange,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there wasn't much of that. It's either like I'm talking to a camera in an interview room for a lot of the voiceover parts where they're interviewing me and they want to just grab like, sound bits that they can kind of like put over things and or they're just kind of following my daily routine and then that's it. It wasn't I don't know, it wasn't like a crazy adjustment.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed like watching it, it seemed pretty natural. Media have talked about it as well. As like, it seemed like it was pretty easy, or they made it easy on you, or at least that's how it was framed on TV,
hmm
which was cool. And in one of the episodes, one of the ones that you were kind of like a main character for, it was talking about Indian Wells. I know
hmm
myself, Hung, and a few other GGC guys made the trip out there to come watch you compete against Rafa. In terms of tournaments, what is your greatest memory when it comes to tennis? Maybe your greatest victory, your greatest achievement. What do you think has been the best, the sort of accomplishment you've had so far in tennis?
I mean, it has to be Indian Wells, like without a doubt. There's a lot of really, I think, really cool things I've achieved, but nothing is as high as the level of winning a Masters 1000. Indian Wells is outside of winning one of the four Grand Slams. That's
Yeah.
the best tournament I could possibly win. So uh, it had to be that, and like that, just that like that moment of like the winning and the whole. I'd say then just the whole like hour, 2 hours, like that
Yeah.
just came after that match. It's just like I can't even describe like the feeling of it, and like that's why like I don't know. I always say like I can't describe it, but like
Yeah.
that's why like I want to like compete and I play sport. Like I love what I do because like that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
everyone strives for that too. And Hung, I'll let you jump in here too. the lead up when we're on our way there and you're like, hey, I don't know what's gonna happen, sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that was just kind of like added to the allure. I know we all drove there that morning, but I know Hung wants to talk about it too. There was just so many great things from that day, which was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that episode, and obviously we knew what happened. And it was still like heart wrenching for me to just watch that. I'm like, come on, Taylor, you can do this, you can do this, and like seeing you argue with your coaches, saying that you want to try. Um, from our side of it, like Spencer said, like we drove out that morning, we were on the golf course, and like you were texting us that morning, like I got hurt, I don't know if I'm gonna play, like
Yeah, I
don't.
remember, yeah.
Yeah, it was wild from our side. Like for me, that's on my Mount Rushmore of like favorite events, my like, favorite sports events. Like number one's always going to be
Me and
Villanova
Rogers,
winning
yeah.
winning the championship, but then like to see like one of my brothers like win on that stage and to beat Rafa and like being kind of connected in the behind the scenes where like you're texting us
Yeah.
like how injured you are too. That made it even more crazy for
Yeah.
me to watch
A
that.
lot of people that like texted me and said like, "Oh, hey, like good luck." Like if it was, especially if you were like coming to the match, I was like, "Hey, like cuz I felt bad. I was like,
Yeah.
"Man, I don't know if I'm actually going to be playing, dude." Like cuz obviously a lot of people wanted to come down from like LA and make the drive, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, like
Yeah.
it was looking really bad up until like maybe like an hour before the match."
Yeah. It's definitely well documented in the series of how much you guys had to go back and forth, which is crazy, which makes the victory even more impressive overall, which
Mhm.
is, I can only imagine that feeling, that you had kind of coming out of it. Um, so that was obviously a hometown tournament, which is awesome. It's one of your, I say hometown, but closest to LA in SoCal for you. I know you probably had a lot of people out there, but you guys are consistently traveling all year long. I know we
Yeah.
talk about it all the time. We're always trying to figure out our schedules to either go golf or figure out what sort of games and stuff that we can play while you're even in the States or whatever it is.
Yeah.
When you're traveling, do you have a setup that you bring to game on or whatever it is? How do you
Yep.
do it? Because I know there's got to be a lot of time where you can't be going out or whatever it is after training. You're focused on a tournament. What do you bring with you to take your mind off of it when you're on the road?
So the travel setup has really evolved throughout the years. Um, I think games becoming like cross-platform really changed everything for me
Yeah.
because I had so many friends back in the day that played like when Fortnite was like really popping off, like that's like what you played.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All my friends were playing on PlayStation, so it was like I need to play with my friends. So I used to listen to this. I used to bring a PlayStation in my backpack,
Yeah.
and I used to put a 24-inch monitor in my suitcase, and I would get like a shitty one that had like a detachable stand, so
Yeah.
like I could actually just basically put a flat screen like down in my suitcase,
Yep.
and then the stand I could put in like my tennis bag or something, like because this whatever you break it into two pieces, it's like
And
not
it
that
never
much. So
broke? Never broke when you
no, never.
traveled?
I never broke a monitor screen ever.
It's actually incredible.
Um, so that was what I would do for a while, and then once things became cross-platform, I started playing a lot more PC games as well.
Yeah.
Now I've perfected it. I don't think it's switching up. I just bring a 24, not 24. I bring a 17-inch just gaming laptop with me.
Yeah.
Got the controller plug-in, got the mouse if I need it, and that's all I really need to be honest.
Do you play when you travel, do you usually play like a good amount or is it like just
Oh
depends on
yeah.
your schedule? Because there's really not much else
So
you
yeah,
could be doing,
it it
right?
de- it depends on the tournament that I'm at
Yeah.
because some tournaments the hotels are like close to the courts,
Yeah.
so I can go back and forth. I can have time, and sometimes the hotels are like 45 minutes away from the
Yeah,
courts, and
that's
like I have a
crazy.
lot of shit to do. So it's like maybe like I have to like grind, and like I'll get to squeeze like one game of like league or something at the end of the day, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that'll make me happy. Like if I can just get like a game in. So it really depends. Like some tournaments I'm playing more, some less, but I'm always trying to get like at least like an hour of time in it, like at the very least a day to play.
Would you say what's your top game? League? I know you.
Top as in what I'm playing the most right now, or what I'm
Yeah,
like
let's
I think
just.
I'm the best at.
Ooh, that's a good question. All right, let's break this into two then. Your top
Okay.
game that you play the most of would be
Lately, it's League.
okay,
In
Is
the
that just
past,
'cause
it's been
easiest to travel with and play? Is that why?
no, because the way I travel, I can literally bring anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks. I'm always gonna be better at like every single game I play when I'm at my like desk
Home
right here,
setup,
at, like my
yeah.
home setup. It's
Yeah.
so tough to play when I have like my like I don't know, like it's just different setup, different
Yeah.
mouse position
Trust
every
me, get it.
week, like on my
Yeah.
laptop. So like yeah, like I'm not trying to like
Disposition,
it's
it's anything.
yeah. So um I play League a lot. I played a lot of Apex.
What's your league rank?
Dude, my league rank is not great right now. It's silver one. I'm grinding.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
grinding. I think I'll finish this season like high gold.
Okay.
I think platinum might be a stretch, but I think I'll finish this season high gold.
Gold is respectable. I will give it to you. Gold is pretty respectable. In terms of best game, what's your best game then? We played Apex. You're actually pretty good at Apex as
Yeah,
well.
it's FIFA's my best game for sure.
Yeah, listen,
Um,
we played some FIFA as well.
I haven't really like that's a dark time in my life when I was
Oh
like
yeah.
really grinding foot champs, and this is back because you play the foot champs, so it's
Listen,
like
I've seen your desk photo. I trust me. I 100% get.
massive hole through my desk. Um, yeah, I would. It was a dark. I think 17, that was the first year they released foot champs, and it was 40 games. You had to play
Yeah,
40 full games of
so
foot
many
champs,
games, man.
but I was so into it because I was like, I love FIFA. I'm really good at FIFA, and I was like, I
Yeah.
can finally like be competitive. There's like a ranking like leaderboard. Like I placed top 100 in North America one of the weeks of foot champs in 2017. I went 36-4
Yeah, but
in my foot champs games.
back then, Foot Champs was honestly the best way and easiest way to get the best players. Like you got special edition
Yeah, it
players. You didn't have to spend money on it if you didn't want to, but that was the
was the
easiest
first time you could
way.
ever get a first time you could ever get a real team, and you could ever get like a legitimate team in Ultimate Team
Yeah.
without like just spending tons of money. It was like
Yeah.
the first time you ever got rewarded for playing. But I just loved like the fact that there's a rank system that if I was able to somehow get 36 wins, my name might end up in like the leaderboard on the North American top 100. But
Yeah.
I'd say I easily broke between 30 and 40 controllers that year.
Oh, listen.
Um,
I
I
I
would I would travel with like two or three, and I would find myself like going to like having to find like stores to go to when I'm in like Europe to like try and buy like more controllers. But FIFA was for sure my best game, and I've just I've given up the foot champs grind. I'll hop on and play clubs with you guys,
yeah.
but that's about it. And then
Yeah.
I'd say my next best game is probably Apex.
Yeah, listen, I think if for anybody watching, if you've ever played FIFA at a high level and understand FIFA cheese and everything else that goes on in the game, you completely understand how like insane the rage, like how much it can make you rage because it's actually insane that it just feels like out of your control.
Nothing
Um,
gets me to that level.
which is like it's a bad it's a bad way to think about things or like to think about what you do when you play the game, but it's a true thing.
Also, also the more time you put into something,
Yes.
the more frustrating it is when like you're getting your ass kicked.
Yes.
So like if some kids like if it's just like I'm not feeling it, some kids beat me down and I'm just like they're like doing like ridiculous celebrations on me every time they score, like fucking like shushing me and stuff. I'm like I'm gonna lose my mind because I've
Listen,
put enough time into FIFA. Like I get so upset if someone beats me.
I swear, if I get grittied on and I'm down 0-2, I'm throwing my controller through the wall. Trust me, bro. Like
Yeah,
I get it. It's literally the worst. That's why, like you said, I have fully relegated myself to clubs. Like I'm a
yeah.
club superstar.
Clubs is chill. Clubs
You're
is chill.
insane. You're also really good at clubs. Like we got a good club squad going, but like that doesn't make me rage as nearly as hard as regular foot
No, not
champs
at all.
does.
Not at
Like
all. I can live with that.
I can get off there and feel good about myself and sleep well. So yeah, I totally get it. I think the traveling aspect for you is the hardest thing to do to be able to keep up with all the stuff that you love to do, which is, obviously golf on the side and gaming.
Yeah,
So it's awesome that you have an option to travel with in game because I see you playing when you're out at a tournament. I can see it in Discord when you're popping up in league and whatever. So
yeah,
it's super awesome that you actually are able to do that. So
yeah. I need something to like grind. Like I need like a when I'm like it's so when I'm not playing tennis when I'm traveling I never golf when I travel, but I need some kind of like a rank system
yeah,
type game to like just like grind. Like I don't know why, I love like the just the competitiveness of it. Like I always said, like I don't think I'd be that into gaming if I couldn't play against other people.
Yeah, I think the
If I
ranking.
could,
Yeah,
yeah, if I could only play like campaigns of games, like I actually
no,
don't think I'd be that into gaming. What really's got me so into it is just literally like competing.
same, same. And it's crazy. Like, are there other people that travel with you guys or that you're friends with on the tour that are good gamers, or do you think that you're probably one of the best gamers or the best gamer that you know that plays tennis? Um,
I'm the best gamer in sports. That's
all sports.
for sure.
Damn, that's bold.
There's listen.
That's bold.
There's let me plead my case here.
Okay.
There's people that'll be better than me at one game.
Yeah.
Maybe someone's better than me at COD. Maybe someone's better than me at Fortnite, but that's because they put every single second of gaming time they have into this game.
Yeah.
There's nobody that plays as many games as I do to the standard that I do. And I also have just winnings wise,
Yeah.
I've won, you know, like six, seven, 800K for charity through like gaming tournaments. The celebrity
Yeah.
athlete influencer tournaments. I've no one's earned no one has like higher earnings than I do
Yeah. Yeah.
in that space. So I feel pretty confident talking my shit in this category.
It is. It
I'm
is.
very well diversified.
It is a bold thing to say, but I think a lot of things you are saying are correct, and where a lot of pro athletes are, a lot of them are playing Fortnite or just COD, like you said, and they're playing with like other streamers and whoever it is, and they could get good at that game. I'd love to know which other ones are out there that are more diversified, because I'd love to see like a show match or like a showdown, get like a bunch of people in
I
and see how
promise
they
you,
do.
if you take you take like the all the most popular games, like let's you grab like
Top 10, yeah.
in games you have to play on a controller and a keyboard mouse, like grab I don't know, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex, League of Legends, Valorant, FIFA, what else, whatever else games you want to grab. Like,
Yeah.
there's no one that's gonna across the board be able to beat me in more games than I'll beat them, and I know that for a fact.
That's a competitive nature, though. That's just wanting to be best at everything that you do.
I just like switching games. Like, I don't know, I like switching games. I like getting good at games, and like that's like I said, there might be someone that's better than me at COD, but I'm still pretty good at COD. I feel like.
Yeah.
Can you still not check your KD for in the new game or no?
You can do it like online, but there's like, it's really hard to do like through the game, if that makes sense.
It's not like I'm unreal, but I know that I didn't play much, but I was probably running about a 1 point, I'd say a 1.6 ish.
In like Warzone or in like
No, and just
multiplayer.
multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, once like they have like ranked and stuff coming out, so like it'll get way more sweaty. Um Warzone's gonna have some new stuff coming out, so maybe you'll make your way back to it. But yeah, I think just the competitive nature, I think just like lives inside of professional athletes. Like, and
Sure.
you're obviously like a clear, a clear example of that. Like moving, like you always just want to be better than people, and like getting like playing golf and all these other things are just a clear like show of that as
Yeah.
well. It's like you just always want
Honestly,
to try to grind.
COVID was a really good time for the gaming because they just had all these events.
Yeah,
They had so many of those influencer gaming events, and I was just absolutely cleaning up.
yeah. A lot of these games too dropped at the right time. Like Warzone dropped and
Oh,
Apex
Warzone
dropped.
dropped at the perfect time, man. Oh my
Apex
God.
dropped a little bit later as well. So it was like even during COVID. So it was like a perfect timing for like some of these games to drop. It was just like unreal that all these games latched on so hard because of the timing that they dropped. And you guys had a
Yeah,
lot
for
of
sure.
time. I was playing with other athletes and people in the music industry. Like I'm sure you guys were
Mhm.
all loving it as well because you had a lot more time in your hands.
Yeah, and they could organize these tournaments because the first time ever, like all these, you go through like if you go to the list of like the athletes and everything, it's possible to get a tournament together because it's everyone's on crazy schedules.
Yeah.
I played this one tournament. It was so cool. It was a Fortnite duo tournament, but it was athletes only.
Damn.
And
Who's your duo?
it was ran like my duo was Chenna Nwosu, who's at the time he was on the Chargers. Now he's on the Seahawks.
Okay, I'll
And
say it's
him and I had played some like Fortnite. He kind of kept playing Fortnite. I had stopped, but he remembered that when we used to play that I was good, so he hit
yeah.
me up to play it, and I think we finished 12th in the tournament. There was like I want to say there was like 200 teams.
Damn, that's a grind.
Um,
First of all,
yeah, it was bullshit. They were playing on NAE servers. We were just getting shot. We were literally getting shot through our builds. Like it was BS. I'm not going to talk about the logistics of it, because then they had certain like marquee athletes that
yeah.
like they just put through to the final. Like
Ah,
you needed to be in the final 8. So you had like guys like a lot of the NFL guys. Like I think it was like Mike Evans and like Juju, and then I don't
yeah.
forget who won the event, but whoever won it was just passed through to the finals
That's
and
cheese.
got partnered with like Tfue or like the best pros. So it was like,
Yeah,
and
that's super
realistically,
cheese.
and this is probably where like people can like come and be like, oh well, I won this and this and you didn't win that. I'm like, dude, like you know how Fortnite is. You have one pro athlete
Yeah,
and 2 pros on every team. The athlete does absolutely nothing.
yeah, yeah. 100%. They're there. They
And
give ammo.
it's a tournament. It's a tournament of the 2 pros playing against all the other 2 pros.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
yeah, yeah. That athlete is literally like they're scavenging the ground. They're getting loot for everybody else and like
Yeah,
passing off weapons. Like that's literally your job.
Warzone's different because the time to kill is so much. Like it's you can actually just like kill someone.
Yeah,
But like I don't know how to describe it. But like if I could kill the best player in the world in Warzone if he's not looking.
yeah. You had
You
better
know.
position than him. The building aspect of
Exactly.
Fortnite makes that a lot harder.
In Fortnite, you can literally never in a million years kill someone that's like a pro if you're not also a pro. Like the second you
Yeah,
shoot a bullet, the guy's fucking
he's
you're done.
built up into the fucking sky.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
Bill, he's pushing you. You're never gonna see him. You're never gonna get
yeah,
shot off of him like this. So I don't want to,
yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's a lot. You're right. It is a lot harder to kill in Fortnite. There's just a lot more other like variables than in
Mhm.
Call of Duty for sure. So, yeah, that's insane. Listen, we need to have more tournaments. First of
Yeah,
all, this just
yeah.
makes that more obvious. But what's up, Hung?
I was gonna say, Taylor, do you ever get shit on social media for playing video games? Because like you look back like 10 years ago, a professional athlete plays a video game, right? They talk about it, and their fans are like, "Get back in the gym, get back to practice,"
Oh, that's so
and then
common.
yeah,
That's doing anything that's not tennis. And I'm like, these people like, how stupid are you? Like, I'm supposed to be playing tennis 24 hours of the day or what? Like, what do you think I'm supposed to be doing? Like it'd be so unhealthy to be training anything more than like 6 hours a day, like max. Anything after that is like, it's literally unhealthy. It's like, that's the most annoying thing I think when I like go like dream or something. Um, I always get the like, oh, shouldn't you be practicing? I'm like, dude, like I just practice like 8 hours a day. Like, I'm so sorry. Like,
That's
I'm
always
supposed to like, you think I'm supposed to like live on the court? Like,
that's always so insane to me because you know those are the type of people that are checking out after 8 hours at their job, going home or doing whatever else, and not giving their job a second thought. And those people are coming
yeah,
home and giving people like you shit for no reason when like
yeah, it's
they're doing
just,
the same sort of thing.
it's funny. I love like sometimes even like, you get those comments. I love like replying and like fucking with those people. It's honestly fun. But um
I've seen
yeah,
you troll more.
it's what?
I said I've seen you troll a little bit more on social. Do you find like joy in that or like
If I
do you,
have like a little bit of like free time and like I'm not doing anything, then like sure, like
yeah.
if someone like says something to me, like I'll like rip back at them. Like I don't really care. Like and 90% of the time you like reply to someone, they'll be like, "Oh my God, like sorry, like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
actually a
yeah.
really big fan." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, like you're such a loser."
Yeah, like dude, trust me, like I get it. Like I've seen this from multiple different angles. Like there's no winning, but at the same time, it makes you feel a little bit better knowing you got to at least voice your opinion a little bit to like
Yeah, but then
hopefully.
sometimes I also just feel like a loser that I even like
Yeah,
gave this person a second of my time.
yeah, yeah,
I
100%.
have to like be in a mood where I actually feel like I'm not doing anything, so like
Yeah,
my time does not matter right now.
yeah,
But yeah, I think one thing that was actually annoying kind of earlier on in my career is somehow people had the idea like reputation that like I'd stay up like late at night before my matches, like playing video games.
Oh, that's insane.
And I hated that. Like they talked about that, and like I remember they mentioned, I think Andy Roddick mentioned that on maybe like ESPN or Tennis Channel or something before a match. They're like, oh, well, the American guys right now, you got, one guy that's always injured, and one guy that like doesn't take it seriously and goes out, and one guy that stays up all night playing video games. And I was like, shut up, dude. Like I
Yeah.
never did that.
Yeah.
I never done that.
I mean, you got to think about other sports too. In football and in some of these other ones in the U.S., like there's guys that'll go out to the club like a night before a
Oh
game,
my God, you go to the other sport, like
which
the
is insane.
the professionalism of some people like in the NBA and the NFL that like I
Yeah.
know is actually ridiculous. But here's the thing. You're playing on a team, you can get away with it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
You
what I
have
was.
other guys to pick you up,
Yep.
and those guys that are doing that are typically never the
Like
people that
stars.
are
Yeah.
carrying the teams and the stars, they're
Yeah.
it's typically not them. Um, yeah, if I'm not like at my absolute best, there's no one else to like pick up the slack. So the professionalism does
Yep.
have to be, you have to set yourself to, I guess, a higher standard.
That's what I was gonna say too, and I think there's a direct correlation between you guys as tennis pros and golf pros because they're very like every golf pro I've met is the same way as you. They're very serious about what they do. They aren't staying up late. They're taking their training very seriously, all their practice very seriously. So it's kind of the same aspect where like you said, team sport versus individual sport. You're only accountable to yourself. So like they're not going to go out late. They're not going to be doing these crazy things. They're going to be making sure they're locked in for a tournament or practice or whatever it is the next day.
But I will say I'm a very different person when I'm at a tournament.
Yeah.
You guys see me when I'm at home and I'm relaxed, and it's like, and in my mind, like it's my decompressed time, like fun time, because I'm still gonna be training, but I need to like have fun so then I can mentally like prepare myself to like go on the road and then like lock in. Like it helps me be able to lock in if I have some time to kind of like have fun and like be home. So like,
Decompress.
we're on the golf course, and like we're having drinks and doing whatever. Like I'm definitely like a way different person when I'm like at a tournament for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's flip back to golf for a little bit. We're going to do
Yeah.
a little bit of a few rapid fire questions here at the end
Okay.
of some golf related things for you.
Sounds good.
So we'll kind of hit a few of these on the list. So in terms, we were just talking about right before this call, me and you have both been out to Hillcrest. We love it, but
Hmm.
what is your dream golf course that you would love to play that you've seen? Maybe you've already played something like it and you'd love to go back, but what is the absolute dream golf course that you want to play at?
Think. I don't know. I think maybe like Pebble Beach would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, I'm from San Diego, and I've never played Torrey Pines or the Bridges.
You never played
I
Torrey?
Well, because dude, I didn't
I
golf when I
guess,
lived in San
yeah. I
Diego.
guess that's fair. That's
So
fair.
I think those would probably be on the short list, but
Yeah.
in all the courses I've played, I haven't found a course that I like more than Hillcrest. I think that course is just so nice.
Yeah, I think Pebble is literally like on everyone's bucket list. I know some people that have played it a few times and it just like never gets old. So I think that's literally like one of the perfect courses, dream courses for everybody. So you got your dream course. You're going to go play out. Say you book a foursome. Who is your dream foursome that you would take there? It can be anybody in the world. It doesn't matter if they play golf or don't play golf. But if you're picking 3 more people to be in your foursome, who would they be? Listen, you could say me. I know it might be me, but like just for the sake of this,
I was thinking I might just say Hung Spencer Cole.
hey,
Just
that's a great
hey,
that's a
The
tip
vibes.
I
top.
don't know. I like the groups. I like the groups I play with. I like the groups I play with, and
That's a tip top foursome right there. That's ultimate
yeah.
vibes. Are there pro golfers that you think would be fun to play with, or you just love to pick their brain about golf or anything like that?
Yeah, I played a scramble event with Ricky, and that was a lot of fun. He was a lot of fun to play with.
Where was that at?
That was in Miami Beach.
Was he offering
That was
tips?
You were there, Hung. It was the Palm Tree Crew.
You played with Portnoy too, right? Like, what was it
Yeah,
like
he
playing?
was in the group too. It was fun. I don't know, we had a good time. It was uh Miles, Kira, uh Dave, Ricky.
Was Ricky offering tips or anything like that, or were you asking him for stuff, or was
I
you kind of
did,
just sitting there
yeah.
your own thing?
He actually changed. I actually grip the club the way I grip now because of something he told me. I used to have like this really bad toppy toppy shot I would do on my
Yeah,
drive,
yeah,
and I basically hit like a topspin forehand,
yeah,
and
yeah,
or I just like do like a crazy hook.
yeah,
And so he just told me to like instead of kind of having the hand in like the back to cross it more over. And
yeah,
so it was weird because I felt like I would like slice it if I hit it like that. And I definitely don't hit the ball as far when I grip the ball like grip the club like that, but it's so much more consistent.
yeah,
So I've been doing that ever since. I feel like it helped a lot actually. It's one of
yeah.
the only tips someone's given me that's helped me a lot.
I mean, if you're getting a tip from somebody,
Yeah,
like
exactly,
I feel like
exactly.
Ricky Fowler is like
I'm
a
gonna
good place.
trust. I'm gonna
Yeah, yeah,
trust. I'm gonna trust that one.
yeah. Okay, we're talking about driver. What is your absolute favorite club in the bag?
Um, I think it's probably like the 54 degree.
Wedge
I
guy.
love being like 80 yards out and hitting like a really smooth wedge, and I feel pretty confident with that shot.
I think wedges are like, I don't know what it is, but the fact if you hit a drive and you just gonna pull out like your 54 or like your 50 degree,
Yeah,
and you're just like, just that feeling just is like amazing. Just knowing that that's all you have left. So I feel you
for
on
sure.
that.
I think
Okay.
I've seen you eagle out at Trump with that
First
club, right?
time. That's the first time we were golf hung. That's the
Yeah.
first time I ever played 18.
Yeah.
And you
Guy
wait,
drops in an eagle from like 90 yards out with that club.
it's actually insane. That would hook me
It was
for life on golf if that happened to like my first four
Yeah, it
rounds.
was the first time I
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
golfed.
yeah,
I eagled, and I was obviously playing the hole so bad because I was still like, I think I was like, I don't know, somewhere between like 70, 80 out
yeah.
on my third shot on a par five. So obviously was playing the hole pretty bad. And I just, yeah, that was definitely something.
Um, in terms of like, do you have a favorite golf memory yet? Would that be one of them, or is like golfing
I think
with Ricky?
that's
Yeah,
probably the
yeah,
one. Like that was so sick.
yeah,
Like we all freaked out. Like the energy was definitely like the energy was definitely there. I feel like there's days that could happen, and it's like you don't get like that hyped about
yeah,
it, but
yeah,
like
yeah.
that was one of those days. Like it was there.
Yeah, that shot, if I recall, you hit it what, like 6 feet past and it just stopped, spun, and you
Yeah, I remember Kaz and Cole were at the hole, and they were like, "Hey, if you hit it into this backstop here, it's gonna roll right back into the pin." And then I literally put it like exactly where they like
Where they said, yeah,
said to put it to roll, and then it just like rolled right back in.
that's freaking sick. That's so sick. Um, since you're new to golf, what are some of the things that you found out when you started playing golf that you were like, man, I actually love this? Whether it's, you know, early tee times or getting drinks on the course, maybe it's like golf outfits. What are some things that you find in golf that you are like, man, this is kind of sick?
Um, Definitely like the hot dog at the turn.
Nice
It's
little
like just
glizzy.
such a classic, yeah.
Okay.
Um, and then yeah, like no, I like getting like a good like golf fit together.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird because when I'm wearing like my tennis clothes, I don't like put on my tennis clothes again and be like, yeah, like this looks sick today. Like
Yeah,
I'm way
yeah,
more
yeah,
like
yeah.
selective, I guess, when I'm like putting like golf clothes together. Like yeah, like here's my like the golf fit for the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You feel good.
and
Like it gives
then
you confidence when you put on like a good golf fit, though. You
yeah,
know, like
if I'm like rushing and like just like don't have like kind of just like just put whatever I have on, like I just
yeah,
know I'm gonna play bad.
100%. Like you gotta lay it out at night, like the night before. You like look through and you're like, all right, I'm gonna lay this.
Yep,
This is what I'm wearing tomorrow morning for sure. Like I'm gonna feel
for
good about
sure,
it.
for sure.
Is there anything you hate about golf? Is it, like slow players in front of you?
I
Um,
mean that's annoying, of course.
yeah.
Oh, I hate when you drive the cart somewhere where you get stuck. It's just like
Oh, the GPS takes over.
I hate driving the car. Like
Okay, that's
I
a
hate like I hate courses that have like super like trippy ones where you like go anywhere you're not supposed to go and then you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah. back out.
put that in reverse, drive super slow, whatever. That sucks. What else? Uh, Not a big. You know what? You know what I've learned is like you can never just show up to the range early. Whatever time
Oh
you plan
yeah,
on getting
yeah,
for me anyways, whatever time I plan on getting to the golf course, back it up 30 minutes, and that's normally like right at the tee time.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
can never actually the amount of times you say that you're gonna get there early and get ready and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, there's always like four other things you're trying to do at once, or like, oh, I got to grab these balls, or like, I got to go grab these, get range balls real quick, or whatever it is. Like, there's never enough
Yep.
time. You're always rushing when you get there. And then you're like 10 minutes early to your tee time to make sure you're getting to the tee on time and that sort of thing. So, oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah, confession, Taylor, whenever I book tea times with you in there, I tell you it's 15 minutes earlier than it actually is to make sure you're there on time.
Yeah. No, it's I always cut it super close.
yeah. Listen, that was all right. That was our rapid fire section. We've touched on so much stuff here today. We've touched on your tennis career. We've touched on how you got into golf, touched on gaming and all those things tied to it, how you travel, which is awesome with gaming. This is literally one of our first episodes, so we really appreciate you being on here today.
Yeah, dude, it's an honor.
I know you're busy. We love having you out at events. I'm sure we'll see you again at some other ones.
It's been way too long, man.
I know.
Every time I'm home, it's been unlucky. Every time I'm home, it's not coinciding with an event. So
Yeah, listen, we'll make it work. We'll keep talking about your schedule and all that kind of stuff. We're golfing tomorrow. I literally can't freaking wait to get out there. As we're doing this, I got a text from one of the guys playing tomorrow, so I think they're stoked. So yeah, again, thank you for doing it. Hung, you got any words for Taylor?
No, other than let's find a time we're actually in the same city.
Hung and I need to get out there. It's been so long. It's been so long.
Next time you're home, I will make sure that I'm home. So
okay. Well, let's book a trip to Pebble. I think what we've got out of this is that we just need to like book something and we'll just go.
Yeah, honestly, you tell us your schedule, man, and like if you're down, we'll plan a golf trip around that.
I mean, obviously, Indian Wells, like I will play a round or two before the event starts, but even without me, that's beginning of March, I think.
Okay.
March, maybe like 6th or March 10th, but regardless of if I'm playing or not, you guys should come for sure because there's so much good golf. So much good golf. But
we're going to that. But
and I'd say like end of November is like when I actually get time off and I'd actually want to do something. I've talked to you about this before. I'd love to go to like Cabo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll plan something around Indian Wells, and then at the end of your tennis year, we'll plan a Cabo trip and we'll play golf down there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Love it. Golf, baby. Love a lot of golf. Love friendship. Warm weather. It's coming back soon. So awesome, Taylor. Thank you for being on. We'll talk soon. We'll hopefully see you out there. Thanks again, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.